Hello, epic viewers from around the multiverse. Prepare to indulge in experiencing sheer bliss, because today another riveting, captivating, stellar unboxing video is about to be brought to fruition. What I might be unboxing, what I might be opening. Without further delay, without further procrastination, allow me to elicit the box. What items encompassed inside this bulky, hefty, tangible, nifty box? Let's find out. I'm going to demystify that answer to that inquiry right here, right now. So bear with me. It will only take me billions of picoseconds to extract the item from the box and subsequently flaunt it in front of the camera for you to feast your glorious eyes on. Here we go. The unboxing process is about to commence. The unboxing process is officially underway. Which figurine have I drawn forth? Which figurine have I elicited? Which figurine have I extracted from the box? Which figurine have I rendered obscure? I made a blunder. Let me revamp that. Which figurine have I rendered transparent and rendered him no longer obscure? Let's find out. This figurine is known by the moniker of Imperiex. To my dismay, he has a minor scratch. His mask is marred with a scratch. Is this a salient issue? Is this a critical issue? Is this a dire issue? Will this bear ramifications against me? Well, that remains to be seen. However, it does agitate me, but I can always paint over the scratch if it truly bothers me that much. Now, apparently he's a Build-A-Figure. He's a part of the DC Universe Classics action figure line. He was churned out by Mattel amid the early 21st century. I believe the line was discontinued in recent years. Nonetheless, he was sculpted by the Four Horsemen Studios Corporation, and apparently he needed to procure at least 5 or 6 of the figurines in his corresponding wave in order to be able to build him. Each one of the figurines came bundled with one of his appendages. So one of the figurines came bundled with an arm, another one came bundled with a leg. You get the gist and the notion and the idea. And what else do I want to say about him? So once you bought all the figurines within the wave, excluding the variants, you're able to assemble your own Imperiex figurine by amalgamating the pieces together. So here we have the figurine. He's embodiment of Imperiex, and he's just magnificent. I love his aesthetics, I love his hues, I love his textures, I love his deco, I love his sculpt. He's an eminently high quality figurine. I love his features, I love his characteristics. He's pretty bulky, he's pretty muscular, and he has ample points of articulation. He has a diaphragm joint. It's obscured by his clothing, but can be seen nonetheless. His seam lines are also a bit transparent. Unless you're looking at him from afar, then it may be cumbersome to notice his seam lines, but up close you can unequivocally see them, especially if you illuminate them with a flashlight or with an incandescent light, or LED light, or fluorescent light. So if you have an LED fluorescent, incandescent, or condensant light bulb, then you'll be able to pinpoint his seam lines. Nonetheless, if you don't and you're looking at him in the dark, then they'll be obscured and obfuscated. I love his textures. He just looks majestic and divine. He looks audacious. He's definitely intrepid. He instills trepidation in the heart of his adversaries. Or I should say, he instills trepidation in the hearts of his abundance of adversaries. He can pummel anyone to death, he can trounce them, he can beat them to bloody pulp, he can decimate anyone within his vicinity. His appendages can be removed at your own discretion. I don't advise doing so. He's supposed to be one cohesive figure. He's not supposed to be a compilation of parts, or a myriad of parts that are dispersed throughout your room. I can flaunt him on my shelf. He also has peg holes embedded in the bottom of his feet. His elbows are not double jointed, nor are his knees. He can perform a minor ankle pivot. He has a diaphragm joint so he can lean forward and backwards at your own discretion. His arms and legs can be ascended and descended at your own discretion. He can rotate his biceps. He can't rotate, actually never mind, he can rotate his shins, and he's unable to rotate his sides, apparently. So his sides cannot be rotated. He can rotate his waist, and he can rotate his head. His head seems to be relegated to a ball joint instead of a disc joint, so he has considerable latitude for articulation, but not as much latitude as he would have otherwise had if his head was relegated to a disc joint as opposed to a ball joint. I love his wardrobe, I love his attire. Is he a deity? Is he potent in melee combat? Or is he a ranged warrior? Or long-range warrior? Who knows? I'm not well acclimated with his lore. I love his little cape. You can flap it at your own discretion. His skirt doesn't seem to be easily removable. That's always good. I love his armor. It augments his defensive capabilities. He seems to have physical prowess. He can beat anyone to bloody pulp in a heartbeat. He lacks jaw-clenching action. He lacks finger joint articulation. Both the hands are fisted, as you can unequivocally see. So it would have been preferable if he had finger joint articulation. And other than that, I can't really complain. I mean, it's not really a big deal because he has fisted hands, so he can be placed into epic dynamic poses. But if his hands were open, if there were giant gaping apertures between his fingers, that would have annoyed me and that would have agitated me, but that's not the case in this context. He has two-fisted hands, and condition-wise he's practically unscathed. Now, as I mentioned earlier, as I notified you earlier, he has a minor scratch on his mask. On the right side of his mask there's a minor scratch, but it's relatively inconspicuous, and you can't really tell unless you're up close and unless you're meticulous and anal. But if you're not, then you'll likely neglect to notice it. So it's not that prominent. But the lack of finger joint articulation and the minor scratch or marking that mars his mask are my minor gripes appertaining to this figurine. I don't have any major gripes. So if you buy the wave that he's a part of, if you buy all the figurines within the wave that he's a part of, then you'll be able to assemble him. Or you could buy him on eBay from someone who bought all the figurines and who's selling him as an individual figure. I mean, it's up to you. Implement decisions based on your own volition. Don't allow others to dissuade you or persuade you to do anything. I cannot influence your purchasing decisions, but personally I love this figurine. I mean, I have no major gripes about him. His joints are relatively sturdy. He's pretty much a paradigm of perfection. He has somewhere around 12 to 20 points of articulation. I'd probably estimate that he has 15 points of articulation or somewhere around that. I mean, I can't be sure. I don't want to count every single point of articulation now as a hassle, but I guess another improvement could have been the inclusion of double jointed elbows and double jointed knees, but it's not really necessary. I mean, you don't want to fidget with his figurine too much. You don't want to tamper with his joints or fiddle with them too much. You don't want to compromise integrity of his appendages or body parts. So consider buying him if you're an avid devout DC fan. If you detest and disdain the DC universe, then you may want to look past buying him. I mean, it's all up to you. I love his beady little eyes. I love his intimidating look. I love that he looks poised for battle. I love the fact that he looks deadly and dire and menacing and cunning and conniving and unruly. His unbridled might is unstoppable. Now I'm making an arbitrary assumption, but he seems to be an adversary that is practically impervious to damage. Is defeating him an insurmountable challenge that superheroes cannot overcome? I doubt it, but he definitely can hold his own in the fray of battle. So here's Imperiex. I'm not sure if that was pronounced correctly. So here's Imperiex for the final time. He's flaunted in front of the camera. I can't really complain. I love this figurine. I relish DC Universe Classics action figures. The 4 Horsemen Studios Corporation did a stupendous job, and Mattel deserves their accolades for churning out such a fantastic, phenomenal, intricate, robust, novel figurine. So that's everything I wanted to apprise you of. I hope that you deemed this video to be enthralling and insightful. Have a wonderful, marvelous day. Goodbye.